Testing. Mic testing. Testing. Mic test. Alright, so mic is working. I tried to do this yesterday and recorded a whole tour and my mic wasn't working, so try this again. This is my Four Corners Zoo, my biggest zoo yet. The idea was 4 cardinal directions, 4 different themes. So we have the woodland area, Arctic, aquatic, and desert. So starting with the woodland area, guess coming through here, get used to this clock tower and fountains. That's one of my favorite entrance features. But as you enter, the guests can go to the left towards the Arctic. This is the Arctic wolves. This is the timber wolves. So we'll start with the timber wolves. Nice big habitat for them to roam and play. My favorite feature about this habitat is the walkthrough for their dens. Pops up on the other side and leads us to another woodland habitat. This is red deer, and the badgers are in here as well. Then behind the deer badger habitat, sort of towards the end or the back portion of the woodland area, we have the moose habitat. A viewing platform with the talk point. They sleep underneath, and then plenty of room to roam and swim, as well as a recessed walkway path so you can see them. Oops. See them swimming. Shops. In between, next we have another deer. This is the European fallow deer walkthrough. Which is next to the moose, sort of catty corner to timber wolves. As the guests go in, they have another sort of dual mirrored habitat with the foxes, Arctic fox on one side and red fox on the other. And they are connected through this little tunnel that gives their den viewing as well. Guests walk through here, and then the Arctic fox on the other side. Final woodland area habitat is the beaver raccoon lodge. So here we have the lodge. Guests come in, get some snacks and some drinks, maybe some souvenirs. And then there's also this viewing deck out here that lets them get very close to these little rascals. Plenty of viewing though all around, and every aquatic animal that I have or put in my zoos, I always try to put in an underwater viewing area. Just being able to see all their swimming animations, take full advantage is my favorite part. So guests walk down this ramp, they can keep walking straight, go right back up. This will take them into the aquatic section of the park. However, all my underground areas do connect, so they could take a left and go to the Arctic section, and that's where we'll tour next. This is the polar bear. He's down there swimming. Polar bears are kind of a pain because they need so much space, both land and swimming. But you can cheat it a little bit and make these ice flows on top of the water, so I still got a lot of swimming area, and I get to double my, or not double, but add some uh, land for them as well. So guests coming in from the Arctic section would go through here. More my fountain and clock tower. So the polar bear house is to the left. The big main set piece for this area is the Himalayan house. So I'm a really big fan of these like mirrored habitats. I've like the wolves and the foxes. I find something I like and I just double it to repurpose it for similar animals. So the Himalayan house features the snow leopards and the Eurasian lynx on the other side. They have very, very similar requirements in space and climate, and just the lynx needed more trees and foliage and stuff. But other than that, they're practically identical. Guests come in, get a good look, and then they have the outer areas as well. So going to the right in the Arctic area, we have the alpine ibex. And then continuing on, we have the Japanese macaques. And then here is the Arctic wolves, which, just like the timber wolves, it has the underground walkway. Pardon for the lag, this zoo is very big. And right back in the woodland entrance. So that's the woodland and Arctic habitats. Swinging around here, we'll go to the aquatic, another sort of mirror habitat I made using the same building model for the polar bear as I did for the king penguins. The Penguin Palace, and this has a lot of guest walking area as well as a restaurant inside, the Iceberg Lounge. It's a Batman reference there. Here we can see the polar bears through. I made some one-way glass. I just thought it'd be unique, give the guests a bit more viewing options at the restaurant. Of course, these have accessible underwater areas. Oh, shoot. Sorry about that. Try to dress up my underwater areas as much as I can with scenery, rocks. I love shipwrecks. So this next underwater terrain, this is the African penguins. Doesn't look like any of them are swimming. Looks like they're all munching inside. Oh yeah. So we got the African penguins right next to the king penguins. So this is the polar bear, another entrance down. This will take you back to the beavers. A little line of aquatic shops. Here we're entering the harbor, so I'm going to go swinger back around to the guest entrance for the aquatic area. And I tried to simulate this as much as a shipping harbor as much as possible. I got like the beach board paths and found some cool blueprints on the workshop. Like I love this shipping crane. This section of the park probably I spent the most on just because I was painstakingly trying to recreate something nautical, but got it to a point where it's passable. I just wanted to open the zoo, I think. But here, entering, we got the sea lions. And then on the other side, the gray seals. And all these underground pathways connect multiple entrances in and out so that there's constantly people down here. I also put bathrooms down here too. The final aquatic habitat is the crown jewel, the Asian small-clawed otters. And reusing my otter house that I made in my last zoo. I love this this habitat a lot. Final section of the zoo is the desert section. It's the the most neglected. I sort of ran out of ideas and animals and creativity, but at any rate, here is the desert section. I try to go for an Old West motif. We got the prairie dogs, the cougar cage, and then my favorite part of this area is the nocturnal house. It's another workshop item I found, but then edited, so it was just 2x2, I believe, one on one side and one on the other, and I made it, or I'm sorry, it was a 1x1, one on one side, one on the other, and I made it a 2x2, so made it from designed for 2 habitats to include 4. And on the 4 corners, we have all nocturnal desert animals. So we have the fennec foxes here, the caracals on this side, the armadillos, and the aardvarks. And the center hallway here, guests can go through. It's like a real zoo. They have their glass window viewing, but then there's also exhibits in here. Snakes, tarantulas, other nocturnal animals. This was fun to build. And then the final habitat, which I forgot the meerkats. Meerkats are here too. And then this habitat, which I'm not really satisfied with, but I just wanted to get some research and play with the new wolves, the red-maned wolves. Giancarlo. And so guests go from the nocturnal house at the end or the cougar cage. There's a restaurant here, but this little section will take them back to the woodland area. This is the moose habitat. So none of my zoos are ever fully done. I just need to get some more creativity and inspiration before I continue. But this is the Four Corners Zoo.